Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got something on my mind that I just have to share with you all. It's a concept for a movie, or maybe even a whole new series, that I think could completely redefine a corner of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's talk about Blade. Yes, the Daywalker himself. Now, stick with me here, because this idea gets pretty wild. Picture this. Jordan Peele, the genius behind Get Out and Nope, teams up with Ryan Coogler, the visionary director of Black Panther. 4. Imagine the creative energy in that room. The task: to resurrect the Blade franchise and steer the MCU into its darkest, most supernatural territory yet. This wouldn't just be another superhero movie. This would be a deep dive into the shadows, a gritty, horror-infused saga that honors the legacy of the original while forging a new, terrifying path. And who better to guide us into this darkness than the original Blade himself, Wesley Snipes? But here's the twist. He doesn't return as the primary instead. He steps into the role of the mentor, the new Whistler. Think about it, a grizzled, battle-hardened Eric Brooks who has seen it all and carries the weight of a lifetime fighting the undead. He's the reluctant teacher, passing down his knowledge, his weapons, and his burdens to a new generation. This allows us to honor Snipes' iconic portrayal, while also opening the door for a fresh face to take up the mantle. So, who is this new Blade? See a young, hungry, and maybe even reckless Dampier Song-Won who mirrors the raw intensity of a young Wesley Snipes, but with their own demons and their own style. This new Blade would be the central focus, struggling to balance their human and vampiric sides, all under the watchful, and perhaps critical, eye of the original master. The dynamic between them would be electric, a clash of generations, ideologies, and fighting styles. But a Blade is only as good as their team. And for this new crew, we're assembling a dream team of supernatural defenders. First up, we bring back Nyssa Damaskinos from Blade 2. Her scientific knowledge and unique perspective as a pure-blood vampire who chose to fight alongside humans would be invaluable. She's not just the tech support. She's a brilliant strategist and a formidable warrior in her own right, providing a crucial link to the inner workings of the vampire world they're fighting against. Now, let's expand the roster and really connect this to the wider mystical side of the MCU. Imagine Doctor Strange making an appearance. Not just the Sorcerer Supreme from Bleecker Street, but a different kind of master of the mystic arts. Let's introduce Brother Voodoo, Jericho Drumm. His connection to spiritual realms, his ability to communicate with the dead, and his mastery of voodoo magic would bring a completely different flavor to the team's arsenal. He's the one who understands the souls of the monsters they hunt, not just their physical weaknesses. And we don't stop there. This is the street-level dark corner of the MCU. So, who better to call for some muscle than Luke Cage? His unbreakable skin and raw power would make him the team's tank, a walking battering ram against hordes of the undead. Seeing him punch a vampire through a brick wall, yes, please, thick. This grounds the team in the grit and reality of the city streets, a place where monsters often hide in plain sight. But we need more than just magic and muscle. We need a detective, a creature of the night who understands fear. Let's bring in Mark Spector, the Moon Knight. His dissociative identity disorder, his connection to the Egyptian moon god Khonshu, and his brutal methods make him the perfect wildcard. He operates on a different moral compass, one forged in pain and vengeance, fear. The dynamic between the methodical Blade and the chaotic Moon Knight would be absolutely fascinating to watch. And as this team comes together, their first mission could introduce another legendary supernatural hero, the Ghost Rider. Maybe they're investigating a series of strange ritualistic killings that bear the mark of hellfire. Their hunt leads them right into the path of the spirit of vengeance. Is he a friend or a foe? Slat. That initial conflict, a clash between the Daywalker and the Rider, would be a visual spectacle unlike anything we've seen. Eventually, they'd realize they'd share a common enemy, adding another powerhouse to this burgeoning team of Dark Avengers. Let's even weave in a familiar face from the X-Men. Imagine Storm, Aurora Munro, being drawn into this conflict. Perhaps the villains are manipulating the weather, or their influence is creating supernatural storms. Storm's connection to the elements is primal, almost mystical in itself. Seeing her unleash lightning and blizzards against a swarm of supernatural creatures would be breathtaking. Her presence adds a global scale to the threat and connects this dark corner to the broader mutant world. So, what is this threat they're all uniting against? This isn't just about garden variety vampires anymore. This is the gateway to the true dark side of the MCU. We're talking about ancient, cosmic entities, powerful creatures from other dimensions who view Earth not as a planet to conquer, but as a pantry. A food source. These aren't just monsters. They're interdimensional predators, beings of immense power like Shuma-Gorath or Chthon, the Elder God who literally wrote the book on chaos magic. The plot would revolve around these beings trying to tear down the veil between worlds. Using the Vampire Nation as their unknowing pawns, vampires think they're on the verge of world domination. But they're actually just opening the door for something far worse. Our team of heroes, this motley crew of mystics, monsters, and street-level brawlers, would be the only thing standing between humanity and becoming an all-you-can-eat buffet for cosmic horrors. This new series of films, let's call it Blade. The Mystic Paradox would be a slow burn. Birth. The first movie establishes the new Blade, the team, and the immediate vampire threat. But it only hints at the larger cosmic danger. Subsequent films would see them traveling to darker realms, confronting more powerful entities, and delving deeper into the lore of the MCU's supernatural underbelly. Each hero would have their own arc, their own demons to face, all while the fate of the world hangs in the balance. Think of the tone. Jordan Peele brings the psychological horror, the social commentary, the unsettling atmosphere. Ryan Coogler brings the character depth, the world building, and the epic scale. The action would be visceral and bloody, like the first Blade, but the themes would be deeper. It would explore faith, humanity, and what it means to be a monster fighting other monsters. It would be dark, it would be mature, and it would be a side of Marvel we've only ever glimpsed. This is the corner of the MCU I'm desperate to see explored. A place where things go bump in the night. MOs, and the heroes who fight them are just as scarred and terrifying as the creatures they hunt. A place for Blade, for Ghost Rider, for Moon Knight, and for all the dark, strange heroes of the Marvel Universe to finally have their day. Or, more appropriately, their night. I truly believe a collaboration like this could create something legendary. But hey, that's just my thought. What do you guys think? Could a team-up between Pele and Coogler work for a new Blade saga? Oh, who else would you add to this supernatural team? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas. If you enjoyed this pitch, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.